Easy for Nikolai.
Are we live? I think we're live now. Yes. Welcome.
The modern approach to technology.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Antonio. Hello,
Can you
Antonio.
hear us okay?
Greetings from Holland.
Nicholas, can you move that in such a way that it's possible for all of us to see it? What's that? The computer? Yeah.
Okay, this is a surprise live stream. Welcome. Glad you guys could join us. Please hit the like button as we're getting started here.
Oh, look at that. There we are.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Hello.
My old eyes aren't
good.
good enough to read. Okay, there we
YouTube.
go.
Yeah, we're just
Watch
getting
live now. James Pelton going live. James Pelton, your friend Andy, decade investor and Space Design Warehouse.
That's me.
Yeah, that's right.
We're at the Space
I
Design
just said all
Warehouse.
of our names. Hello.
We are. So yeah, hit the like button. If you have questions that you'd like to ask us, so we've got the four of us together. Teach me some mining, Sensei. We
Ooh.
have is someone saying. Maybe first, can we do quick introductions just in case people don't know who we are?
Oh, yeah, because we're live on everyone's channels?
Just me and Andy, I think, actually.
Oh, okay. Just live on my channel, your channel.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe let's start over here, Nick.
So just open a new window, go to YouTube, type in Space Design Warehouse, and that's me.
Hear this.
I focus on, well, generally on Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin mining ASICs and how to make them quieter and run faster than they're supposed to.
Yes, and he's throwing this shindig for us. So
Yeah,
thanks. For
we
bringing
are
us
at
down.
my warehouse. It's really hot. If you can notice that everyone's glistening a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't just watch yourselves because it looks like you're just looking down at that
Oh
laptop.
yeah, right. You guys are over there. Yeah, thank
Are
you.
you sure we're live on my channel? I don't think we are.
What?
Oh dear.
It says live.
Oh, this
Hey, who's watching this on your friend Andy's channel? Is anybody watching it there?
Is anybody?
Let me see.
How long of a
Maybe I
delay
need
is
to
there
go
on
to the
live?
YouTube app to see.
Your friend Andy, 32
Yeah, it says
people watching.
going
Oh,
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. There it
We're
is.
live.
Oh, I see myself.
Space design needs
I'll
more
share this.
videos.
Ooh, shit.
I agree. Space design does need more videos.
We filmed one this morning.
We did. So we did. The video will be out sometime, but we did some YouTube competition. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how it worked out.
You have to watch.
You have to watch it later to find out who won the YouTube competition. But yeah, so this is Nick, Space Design Warehouse. I'm James. James Pelton. I'm not very creative with naming. How about you?
I was actually thinking about changing my name to my name.
Smart.
Seems like a thing you got to
Smart.
do.
Smart branding. My name is Colin, but I'm go by Decade Investor on social media. And I talk a little bit about crypto. I also talk about stocks, the boring stuff for those that are all in crypto. I know James is like.
No, I like
What's
it.
a stock?
They have a place in your portfolio.
Yes, and that's what I talk about. I share my journey on all the platforms. So that's what I do.
They have a place in your portfolio.
They
The
do.
garbage can is a place.
All love.
Hey, friends. Andy here. How you doing? Good to see you.
Oh, nice.
And I'm live on my own channel, so you should know who I am. But if I'm on another channel, then hi, you've probably seen me there too because we talk all the time. That's how we do this thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, so we wanted to just go live since we were all together. We don't usually get together. We talk a lot online, but we don't get together very often. So we wanted to do a quick live
We've
here.
never gotten together, James.
That is true. That's the first
I've
time.
never been in a place with 3 other YouTube guys in my life.
Actually, this is the first time I've met any of you in person. And the biggest surprise was your friend Andy is very tall.
He is a
And
monster.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5", but
It's
you can't tell
terrifying.
on the
No,
video.
on videos you look
I
like
chose
normal.
the shortest chair. I'm trying to make you all feel better.
I appreciate that,
he's
Andy.
he's a giant for sure. But yeah, if you guys have questions or things that you want to talk about, we would rather you guys control the conversation rather than us just talk about nonsense. So first question we have is FPS Monkey would like to know, Andy, what do you think about play to earn games like Splinterlands?
Ooh.
I don't know what that is, but I can tell you my general view on play to earn games, which is not terribly positive. I would say that most of them are projects that decided, hey, let's tag on a game onto our project to hopefully save it. And then they all realized, oh, the whole making a game thing is actually really complicated. That's why entire companies are built to make games
Some of
themselves.
those projects are built around just a game, like the Big Time,
Yeah.
which I own
And
space
that's
in
the
Big Time, but I
approach
don't
I
even
like,
know what
yeah.
it is yet, and I haven't been in there. I
I'm
don't
a
know. I
bad
don't know how
person
to
to
do
ask
it.
because I'm not in any of these P2E games.
Yeah, I think like that for a play to game earn to, I just did a video about this, but for a play to earn game to work, there has to be 2 currencies, money and fun. Because if everybody's just doing it to make money, it's not going to work. It's just another type of Ponzi. But if there's an element of fun and people are willing to trade money for fun, then some people can come in, make money. Some people can come in and have fun. And then the whole ecosystem works
There's
well.
some really old game. I just heard like an NPR podcast about people in India have whole careers of just like gold farming for some, I wish I could remember what it's called, but it's a game from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Really?
But it still has a server going and people still pay for the whatever that server's money is.
Well, if you imagine like Fortnite, right? Fortnite,
Right.
Yeah.
They made those V-Bucks actual
Yeah.
bucks. I mean, you take US dollar and you buy V-Bucks and you play the game, you buy skins and all that stuff. If they just like reverse the system, you know, there's a
that could be
successful type.
Yeah.
But obviously that's Fortnite and it's, you know.
Invest in my crypto. It's called actual bucks.
Yeah, there you go. And you know, and that would be play to earn games. If they can make it, that'd be a great way for wealth to come to like the third world countries. Because like people in America will be willing to, I'll pay some money to be good at this game or to have an NFT that no one else has. And then that opens up, you know, a little bit of wealth transfer to, we got tons of questions.
I know.
This is awesome.
I have thoughts about the Ethereum one I saw.
Okay, well, just tell me which one you want me to click on.
Ethereum up or down after the merge. Let's talk about that real quick, just because I saw it.
On the Ethereum merge as well.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it. Yeah, that one right
Okay.
there.
All right, this one. All right, who has
up or
opinions?
down
What's up,
after the merge?
Antonio, Sleep Money Club alumni.
Oh,
Well, can you say alumni if they're still in Sleep Money Club?
No.
Member.
Member,
Sleep
yeah,
Money Club
member.
member.
He's like a senior.
Mhm.
Not like age.
wait, is he like a senior?
No,
Like he's been in there a while.
Yeah.
He
not
might,
a freshman.
Antonio, you might be an OG Sleep Money Club member. I don't know.
Hey,
Either way,
Antonio.
good to see you.
Anyways, up or down after the merge?
What, Ethereum's price?
Ethereum's price.
Oh, on that aspect. I mean, I don't know. It will eventually go up.
Well, it will eventually go up, but think about the tens of millions of miners that every single month have to pay their electric bill, so they cash in a little bit of their. If they're like full-time miners and that's their whole business,
The current sell pressure is immense.
there's something like $19 million per month that gets sold of Ethereum just to pay for electricity and upkeep and risers that burn out or whatever. All of that stops in a single day. So there's $19 million. Is it a day or a month? Whatever. There's a ton of sell pressure that all of a sudden no longer exists. There's also a bunch of upset people that do mining, but I don't think they buy Ethereum. So I don't think that's actually going to affect it. I think it's going to go up.
There's a surprising number of Ethereum miners who don't actually hold Ethereum. It's
Yeah.
purely just for the monthly income.
Yeah. I'm a holder.
Yeah.
Myself.
Do you think that the merge will go smoothly once it's going, or do you think it'll break? And
I think it'll go. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any
Do you
developers.
think it'll happen when they say it's gonna happen next week? Or the next
Yeah.
week?
I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
it seems like the date is pretty
I
set
think
now.
the last step that had to take place just took place and it's done already. So it is the process is already underway.
We're mining Ethereum right now.
that
we're
was
behind
part of
them.
this competition.
Yeah.
Was
Behind us in mining.
we built some PCs to mine Ethereum,
Yep.
okay, and it didn't go well. Some of us it went well for, some of us it didn't go well for.
Some of you drip sweat off your face more than others
Yeah.
and directly
Drip-
onto motherboards.
I
Boards
may or may not. This is a little teaser, but I may or may not have short-circuited the motherboard with the sweat pouring off of me.
actually
sweat
see
of my
another one
brow.
against the wall over there, so you're fine even if you did.
Okay, perfect.
All the beanbags behind them.
And if we don't ask your question, then just ask it again because I only see some of them, and I'm just bringing them up as kind of I see them. Do you have investments outside of crypto? Maybe we'll start with Colin for that one.
Yes.
I knew you were gonna ask me. Yeah, I have a lot of. I hold about like 20% of my 20-ish% of my portfolio in crypto. So I have a lot of my portfolio in stocks. Mostly is the other place, and I use that for buying holds, but also just for like selling options and another kind of more passive income esque than just buying and holding. So outside of crypto, I do mostly all of it is stocks, but I'm looking to diversify even more into other things like real estate, mobile home parks, stuff like that.
Mobile home parks.
We're talking about some mobile home parks. There may be some videos in the future about that.
I think context is also important here. Colin is
Oh, yes.
24 years old, and your current net worth is still over $200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Holding.
that basically, if I had his start at 24, I would be a like 10 millionaire at this point. But I got the late start. So
Andy's
yeah.
old.
And he's
Excuse me.
And he's very old.
I am the second to
Ooh.
oldest here, which I don't like.
Yeah,
What about you, Nick? Do you have any outside? Of
I do
crypto
actually. More than half of my portfolio is outside of crypto, and I could easily do a whole conversation on just one stock, but I won't. But I invest heavily in Microvision, MVIS. It's a LiDAR company. It's just a sensor company that makes a LiDAR sensor for cars.
Very cool.
Is that-
Also, I have a failed scissor business on Amazon.
We're talking about that.
I have literally thousands of boxes of scissors
Yeah.
on a shelf in the warehouse
9,000
that
to be exact.
If you need
Any
scissors,
fun. Yeah,
contacts.
actually, you know what? I'm going to start being my own. I'm going to be my own sponsor, and I'm going to do stupid little ad breaks. Buy these scissors. They're cheap and they're fine.
Scissors.
They're just fine. They're regular
Pretty sure
scissors.
it's
Nothing special
pronounced
about them.
Skeisers.
But there's a cutthroat
Skeisers.
world in Amazon where people will just murder your business to
And
make
you.
their business better.
Yeah, I
And
don't
you.
recommend. People ask me. I run an fulfilled by Amazon store. I don't necessarily recommend it. It's a lot of work, and I make more money in yield nodes and drip and hoard and things. So, then I do a lot of real estate. But I like my real estate just in case crypto, totally if it goes way down. But real estate is a lot more work. Like if I'm gonna, buy a property, I have to talk to a lawyer, and it's a lot more work than if I just want to put more into yield nodes. I just can hop on and throw in crypto. So I have not been doing as much on the real estate side of things. And actually I do have about a third in the stock market, but I just do mainly index funds. I don't really.
Actually, so I had a rental house and I sold my rental house to buy more stocks, which is probably something you guys would all say is a terrible idea. Although then the real estate market, actually it had heated up. I sold it for like triple what I bought it for.
You're
So
taking
that was-
asset into asset.
Yeah.
I also think it's too early to call that one.
Yeah.
NBIS, we need probably another, what do you think, 5 years before we see how that plays out? 10 years?
2 or 3 years
Okay.
Gonna go move
before
quick.
it like starts to show whether or not it's going to be a thing to do.
Yep.
All right. And then James, I know we got Andy into Neoxa.
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 Mhm.
Have you a convert yet? No, he has not told me about that yet, but we will talk about it.
I
You
might
like
need to
Neoxa?
turn some
I do.
machines
I've-
towards
I've-
that.
So far, my $1,000 into Neoxa is like $30,000.
Oh, why have you not ever told me about
That's
this?
It's a
obscene.
pretty cool little project, proof of work, mineable project.
You tell
which
me
I
about
love.
all sorts of stuff.
You're not in Sleep Money Club.
Wait, I am. Okay, that is one thing I should address. I will be in my Sleep Money Club channel talking more. That's part of my takeaways from this weekend.
We held him down.
Yeah. Let's see.
James, I know you're not used to using a camera when you do your live streams,
Yes.
but you keep talking to the
I
webcam
know,
and you should be
I'm
talking
so
to that
sorry.
thing.
They make fun of me too because I use no equipment when I do my videos. I just go to my computer, so yes, I've been thoroughly made fun of. I'm thinking about purchasing a camera. So
Wait, the live stream is in the computer?
it's in the computer. Okay, let's see.
Fun fact about narcissism: we all can see ourselves on this little screen, so you'll
Yeah,
notice
I
we're
know,
probably
we're
looking at that more
I
than
keep
we're
looking at
looking
me,
anywhere
like
else.
adjusting. Okay, how about this? Let's see, to look at the comment. I have to look at it.
Yeah.
Out of the people on the panel, which person are you jealous of their crypto portfolio?
Not me.
I'm jealous of Andy's flux.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
wish
yeah,
I
yeah.
had that much flux. How much flux do you have? Is that personal?
515,000 flux.
Okay, that's a lot of flux. What's the price of flux right now?
$1.40.
I have
$1.40.
1,000
$1.30?
flux.
You have 1,000 flux. He convinced me. I bought 40,000 flux so I could get a
Smart.
node.
Do you know what price you bought it at?
I think I bought it about 60 cents.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I DCA'd, but it was around like 60 cents or so.
Real good.
My flux is worth about $700,000 right now.
Well, calm it down over there, big fella.
Let's see, 21 million per day is mined Ethereum. So that 19 million is probably the monthly. If we're talking selling for power costs. The dream team, you guys are legends. Thanks for the awesome live stream. Thank you. Some steak.
We are legends.
We are
I love me
legends.
some steak.
I do have.
I
a
don't
cheer
feel like
button.
a
I'm just gonna
legend.
hit it really quick. I don't know if it's
I
actually.
know.
going.
Oh, and then we have you guys know a lot about the merge. Wow. I think he's being facetious.
Oh man.
Yeah, thanks, Merle.
I can speak more to the side of the merge that's
Oh.
going to
Sorry,
affect the
Pocket
mining
Aces.
marketplace. But yes, we also. Yes. What do you know, Merle the Pearl? Tell
Merle
us.
the Pearl.
Tell us the future. I'd love to hear.
I love reading comments on Reddit about the merge. People are completely oblivious about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
They think it's
I-
just going to be fine. You can just switch.
Well, honestly, I
big
think
deal.
nobody really knows. So when I see people who like act real confidently about what's going to happen, I
Yeah.
actually turn them off because I'm like, you don't actually, no one really knows.
Speak for yourself. I know for a fact what's going to happen in the future.
Okie dokie. Is now the right time to buy Bitcoin mining equipment?
I think so.
Yeah.
Tell them Space Design Warehouse sent you.
Yeah.
Actually, we're
Tell
not
him
even
James
live.
Pelton
Who's wearing the
sent you.
hat? Who's wearing the hat?
Oh, shit.
We're of us who actually are partnered with Musk Miners, whose channel we actually live streaming to.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
That's a good point. But I am going to become a Musk mine. Is it Musk or Mosk?
Oh my
dear.
gosh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
Blake, if
I'm
you were
gonna
watching,
know.
Blake, if you were watching
I'm
this,
going to become an affiliate for
Musk miners.
Musk miners?
Yep.
Where did that name come
Like
from?
Tusk, but Musk.
I don't know.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon
Should I
Musk.
tell my Elon
Did it
Musk
really?
joke?
Yeah.
did.
Uh-huh.
Should I tell my Elon Musk joke?
Tell it
Yeah.
into the camera.
Okay, into the camera. Some of you have heard this. If you watch my channel, you've heard this. If you haven't watched my channel, this is what you'll get. So maybe
This
you'll
is
wanna
too
cover
long
it
of a
on.
lead up.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Unsubscribe.
So Elon Musk is from Africa, right? I was surprised to find out he was from South Africa and not mad at gas car.
I mean, as far as dad jokes go,
That's pretty good for a dad joke.
Why did the viewership just drop?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
viewership
We
dropped
lost a
way down.
lot of people on that one. That's weird.
Let's
Weird.
see. Any questions? Scarlet. I don't want to talk about that one. How do you feel about the future of Bitcoin with ASIC miners just about to install with Musk in Louisiana?
wait, is that a question you're about to install with Musk in Louisiana?
It has a question mark at the end.
There's
so
a
yeah,
space
so
before the
just
question
about
mark. I'm
to install
confused
with
by it.
Musk in Louisiana.
Question.
I think
Raise your
Chris
voice at
has
the end.
commented on my videos. I think Chris is about to host with Musk.
Very good.
Yes.
Mining with ASICs in Bitcoin for the next 2 years is going to be awesome. You're going to make, nobody knows what the Bitcoin price is going to do, but eventually it's going to go up. And obviously everything you mine now will go up with it. There's a halvening that's going to happen and things are going to
2024.
change. Electrical prices are only going up for some reason and they're not going down. That's a bummer. But I think the money that you spend in miners now will get you more Bitcoins than buying Bitcoins with the same amount of money now.
I have
Okay.
come to
Into the future.
I have come to a similar conclusion. I think the future of Bitcoin mining looks very bright, and I think I will be very happy with the investment I have already made and will continue to make over the next year.
I am not heavily in Bitcoin mining. I'm mining a lot of Kadena, and I was actually a little burned by that. So I'm like a little turned off to miners. It made my house really hot. But I'm thinking you guys are convincing me to get into.
I have
it
a couple episodes on my channel about how to make your house less hot.
more. Okay.
in the
Okay, I
summertime.
should watch those.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Kadena mine is the
Do
same
we have
thing.
any how to make the warehouse less hot?
My God.
The
we
warehouse
need to
here is very
relocate to
warm.
North Dakota.
Nebraska. More awkward question for each of you. Which person on the panel is making a mistake in their portfolio, and what is that mistake? And let's start with Andy, and
Ooh.
let's make everybody answer this. What's a mistake someone's making that you
Like
feel
we're
like?
talking
Currently
for
making
Andy?
or
for
what makes
myself?
mistake
Yeah.
that we have
No,
made?
someone else. Something that you wouldn't do, you see someone else doing.
Oh,
Oh.
like a mistake see that Andy's making.
Yeah.
No.
Got it.
Why are you looking at me, Andy?
Well, I can say Colin is playing it very safe in crypto, and I think he's leaving a lot of opportunity on the table in the world of crypto, especially right now when opportunity is ripe for the taking.
I'm still buying Bitcoin.
which is good. and
Yes,
I will
as a
commend
matter
you
of
for
record.
that.
Yeah.
I would say with James, his
You're gonna go
appetite
around the
for
table.
DGen investments is significantly higher than mine.
Yes.
All of the
However,
money that
higher
I've
than
lost has
everyone's.
been in those types of
Yeah.
things.
However, I can't deny the results kind of speak for themselves, and you are like obliterating my passive
You
numbers.
should become a YouTuber.
Yes,
Hmm.
I should. And then Nicholas, I would also say, is leaving a lot of meat on the bone currently because he is very responsibly dealing with other things and not currently actively investing in crypto.
I'm paying off credit cards. It feels so dumb. I have $60,000 of credit card debt. Woo!
Well, paying that off first is wise, though.
I
rather
guess.
than before you invest.
But what about your mortgage?
But high interest
Okay.
debt. You
Let's
wanna
make
pay
sure,
off,
make sure.
unless you're getting like 3% on your
Nope.
credit
Yeah,
cards.
we're all very in agreement that if you pay off your mortgage early, you're making a huge mistake.
Yeah, if you have low
I'm just saying, if I
interest-
spend the next 2 months paying off all this credit card debt and I don't buy anything, that then the bull run starts and I've missed a whole lot of buying, I'll feel pretty bad about that.
there's always more opportunities.
And
Yeah.
do you think the bull run's going to start in the next 2 months?
I do not. I also don't think I'm going to
There
put
you go.
$60,000 down in the next 2 months either.
Colin, what
Yeah.
mistakes do you see other people making?
I would say for Andy.
You don't have to say for me.
It doesn't have to be for each person.
Okay, yeah. Andy just wanted to just come at all of us. He was
Yeah.
one all weekend. He's like, yeah,
I'm feeling feisty.
He's
That was a
like-
very reasonable answer I gave. It was
Yeah,
very
it's
level-headed.
Yeah, yeah.
I could have said much worse things. In fact, let me get started.
We're talking about your personalities. No, I would honestly, I don't know. I mean, everyone's successful in their own way they go about it. You know, like Andy's doing very well with what he's doing. I would say I'm doing really well what I'm doing. I could be a little bit more, you know, I take Andy's criticism well.
You could work on your backgrounds.
Yeah,
You could maybe a
video
a
background.
50
That'd be
millimeter
something.
lens.
I might have a
light
new-
constructive criticism about your actual YouTube video.
I might have a new piece of
Yeah.
art for the background.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Like
Spoilers.
everyone's doing, you know, like you can't lie at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. And you know, Nicholas, I don't know much about your portfolio, but and what you're doing, but you're obviously not doing bad.
I'm not doing bad.
And that's I don't know. Everyone finds what we all have the same goals, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone on here has the same
Right.
goals, like financial freedom, financial independence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna go their different ways.
Right. Your experience shapes your take on things.
Yeah, and like you believe in a project or something that I don't, but we can believe in different projects and still they both can be successful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So, I don't know. That's my
Yeah, I think that's
what I'm
good.
saying about it.
That's good. Go ahead.
Andy, I'd like to see you move into something more in the 50 millimeter range. Personally, that's just a personal choice for me. And it's not like you want your videos to look like my videos, but I shoot at 85.
I would love to be in the 50 to 85
This-
millimeter range, but
This
I can't
specifies-
physically in
this
my.
specifies portfolio.
Oh.
guys, not camera.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
like your
mistake
art
in their
Oh,
portfolio.
art portfolio. Okay.
Oh, then the only mistake you guys all three of you are making is you don't have enough microvision. It's
I do
gonna
own
go.
some, Nicholas.
I know.
I'm making less of a mistake than these two.
that's
Okay.
true.
I'll consider it. Send me some info.
I'll
and
send you some
I
info.
put money into pretty much everything someone sends to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
so-
I'll send you a
I
video.
was gonna invest in micro strategy for some puts. I was gonna sell some puts.
Oh, poor guy.
I didn't.
I think it's about to turn around for him.
So I would say the opposite of what Andy said. I would say like I see in some of these risk projects, like there's tons of opportunity to make really good short-term money. And so it kind of bums me out like when people miss out on it. Like, oh man, like yield notes. Like I've been making 12K a month for the last like 8 months. And some people are like, it's too risky, but it's like, man, I'm over doubled my money already. And so that just bums you out. But then it's because you've been burned in other things. So it's just everybody's experience shapes what they're doing. Like I'm right now, I'm leery on mining because I poured so much money into those Kadena miners and got
Yeah.
burned. So I'm just like a little bit, that's not super exciting to me.
I'm a
And
little
I've
leery
also-
on yield nodes because I put $40,000 into strong block.
Those are very different. And yeah, I would say that I am highly biased in the mining front because I've made so much money from mining.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been in for a lot longer. So
Yeah.
I was not really around for the last cycle. And so it totally makes sense that we just kind of see things a little differently. So what I recommend to people is you follow multiple people. You don't
Yes.
follow one person and say, I'm going to do exactly what they do, but you take in everybody's opinion into the stew of your internal decision
Ooh,
making.
real nice.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good.
And,
That's
But if
poetic.
you
I
do
love stew.
only want to follow one person, there is a clear and obvious choice here. Hello.
I
my
mean,
name is
tall
Andy.
people
It's
are more
nice to see
successful.
you.
There's some kind of thing with the financial world.
Yeah. All right. What other questions we got here? I missed a whole bunch. We took a long time on that one. Just keep asking if I don't. I'm just going over them.
Redlight's gasless blockchain.
Yeah. Okay. People keep asking about this. So let's go ahead and talk.
I haven't heard of that.
Have you heard of Redlight's gasless blockchain?
How does
a
it
bunch
make
of people have
money?
asked about this. Nick wants to know how it makes money. You guys have any thoughts before? I have thoughts on everything. So
I haven't seen it for a while.
My thought on something like this is that everybody wants to start their own blockchain. So what's going to make this one unique and make people want to use it and want to build stuff on it? And two, we're talking about a project, which granted, I'm not in it and I don't know as much as other people do know about it, but it is one of fake node projects and one that's all about Playboy NFTs and various stuff. And they want to turn it into something more serious, I guess. And I just don't see people using that over any of the other incredible blockchains out there that have serious people developing it for multiple years. So I have a really tough time thinking, this is going to really change things for that project when every other fake node project that's still around is trying to do their own chain.
Yeah, I saw a lot of when the node projects started failing, a lot of them I saw scrambling to like, hey, we got to get a revenue stream quick. And I saw several of them go to chains. And I don't know that that's going to be the savior of projects that people think it is, because it's about convincing people to use we don't have a ton of new projects spinning up right now. And I don't think anyone's going to move chains. And so I don't know, to me, again, I could be wrong, but just my take on it is it's not going to be super helpful. I don't think any of the new chains are going to be super helpful.
I mean, I think short term, it could certainly make the price pump for a little while, maybe even substantially. I don't know. But long term, do I think it's meaningful? No.
Cool. Do you guys know of any or recommend any GPU miner hosting services?
I would recommend waiting a week and then ask that question
Yeah.
again and just look at what's happening. Wait to
Yeah.
see what's happening. There's going to be just absolute craziness and turbulence and weird, and no one's
Yeah.
going to know what to think of it for a month or so, because a bunch of GPUs are going to drop offline, which is going to make it profitable again. But then people will see that and they'll all come back online, which make it not profitable again. And that's going to happen 25 times before it levels out to whatever it's going to be.
I think merge mining fallout maybe even is like 6 months or more, maybe.
Possibly.
So I think you should, if you find any reputable GPU miner hosting services, you should make sure that they first survive this upcoming period.
Yeah, because they have to make money to
It's
survive.
going to be tough. So
They would need free
wait,
electricity.
Blaine.
This is a good question. I've been thinking about getting some S19s and hosting from Musk. It is Musk. And I'm analyzing to find out profit and cost. Was there anything that you guys didn't account for? Like any surprise costs?
There's no surprise costs with Musk. It is what they say it is.
Yep.
The thing that you have to, you can't analyze and predict your profit, because look at the price of Bitcoin. It goes up and down a lot. And so if you do some number next week, it's going to be, your profit's completely different. The difficulty is also going to change, and that changes based on the price too. So whenever there's a bull run again, maybe next week, maybe 3 years from now, it will have been profitable to have been mining the whole time now till then.
I mean, here the big thing with Bitcoin mining right now is, I think I did scroll past the comments and someone's like, the math doesn't make sense right now. You can't say that, because all the variables that go into these calculations change every single day, and they change so much. All I based my numbers on is all the calculations that I believe are going to happen going forward, but also modeling it against what happened in the last down cycle to bull run cycle. And miners benefited greatly if they had the right bottom for the right prices and hosted them for the right prices. But the big thing that me and Nicholas have talked about a lot, which is the entire idea of miner arbitrage. Which I think is incredibly powerful, which basically removes all risk, at least in my opinion. Don't jump into it, because
risk.
But essentially what you do is you buy this miner, you mine on it for however long it takes to get to the next bull run. If the miners then appreciate by a considerable margin, you can then have the option to sell your miner back.
So the
Either
S19 doesn't degrade in quality over
Correct.
time. So like right now you buy, I think they're like $5,000 right now. When the price of Bitcoin goes back to 40,000, that same miner will be worth 10,000. So you can just sell it for 10,000. Now you've mined for free, and you got an extra $5,000 for buying the equipment, selling it to someone else.
But even if that doesn't happen, you could, if let's say it's on the lower end of that scale, which most of my calculations I base it, like, let's just say it goes back to what I bought it for. It continues to dip down a little bit during this time, and then it just goes back to what I bought it for. Then I have a 1 to 2 year period where I then sell the miner back. I get literally my miner money back to me. I completely break even on it. And the beautiful thing is that entire 1 to 2 year period, I keep all the Bitcoin I mined in the interim.
Yeah.
So you get paid to mine.
And you
long
can't
term.
do the math on today. Like if you bought Bitcoin in 2011, like if you did that math then, it was like 13 cents or whatever. That seemed like it was stupid to buy any of it. Look at it now, obviously. So
I like too what you said earlier. If you're doing the math, compare, because I wish I had done this with my Kadena miners, but compare how much you're spending to how much you could just buy of the coin.
yeah.
Because I bought it at like the top of the miner price, and I would have been better off just buying a bunch of the coins with the math when I bought it. But now is definitely the best time to buy miners.
Yeah. Or in the dip is the best time to buy miners.
Yep.
When everyone zigs, you zag.
That's right.
That's right. Does anyone have any familiarity with Novatech? Am I the only one? I just saw this question
Never
come
heard
up
of
a couple times. So Novatech uses Forex trading bots.
Oh boy.
They've been doing This is a James project, not
Forex
a
trading
Nick
bots
project.
is what I heard about before I've ever heard about crypto being scary and terrible.
And if you buy right now, we'll give you
If you
25%
buy-
off of our Forex trading
Okay,
course.
so we see the opinion of Novatech. I like Novatech, sort of, but it's been getting 12% a month for like 3.5 years.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's hard to argue is like, it sounds so sketch, but then it's like 3.5 years of 12% a month.
Sure.
It's like, man, that's kind of hard to
Numbers
argue
don't
with.
lie.
There's actual provable evidence that they've existed and done those returns for 3
And
years.
Yes.
doesn't
Okay.
Yeah,
all,
I've been in it for like 6 months.
doesn't all Forex trading benefit when there's like tumultuous waters? And right now is a really good time for that.
And that's one thing I like about Forex is if we have a world economic crash, that doesn't affect Forex because it's, currency against currency.
Just in case, yeah, if you don't
Does
know what
it
that is, that's
affect-
just buying foreign currencies and selling them at a different price.
Yeah.
Like the pair.
Arbitrage.
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 Does it, so it affects Forex, but does it affect 5x.
Oh dear.
Hello.
Hi.
Was that better, or was the Elon Musk
I
joke
think
better?
Elon Musk was a better dad joke.
What's the best way to start mining with minimal budget?
With
Ooh.
your desktop computer at home if you have a decent graphics card.
For the next 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, if you're
Well-
doing any kind of GPU mining, I would just wait.
So here's the difference between me and maybe other people on our little panel here, in that most of my time mining, I haven't been mining whatever is the most profitable. I've been mining whatever I think has the greatest potential, even if it's like lower down on the list, or if it's not even on the list. So
Spec mining.
I think you should do speculative mining with your desktop computer.
If
just to
you've already
learn-
got a desktop computer with a graphics
Yes,
card in
don't
it, start
buy
doing
something
that.
right
But
now to
don't
do
buy
that.
something right now.
Yeah, but if you have a desktop computer that has an RTX 20 series or 30 series, and just sitting there, run that at night and pick something speculative that no one knows about or that just launched. Like Neoxa, for example, I mined for the past 2 months before it even hit exchanges, and I was getting tens of thousands of coins per day because nobody was knowing about it yet. Just a small fraction of people.
But mining on a
'Cause he didn't
minimal
tell anybody.
mining on a minimal budget, unfortunately, is gonna go away. You won't be able, like, Bitcoin miners are in the thousands of dollars. Even GPUs themselves are, it's like $1,000 for a new 30 series GPU. Like, there is no minimal budget anymore. Unfortunately, things need to be too powerful.
James, if you had been on our live streams, the person asking about Neoxa earlier, Lil Man he's the one who told me about Neoxa. Or they, whoever they are, introduced
Well,
me.
Okay.
The truth has been.
The guilt goes, or it can be spread around.
That's right.
How would you, this is a good one. How would you divide 150K? If you were starting from scratch right now at 150K, how would you spread it out?
I would probably watch James Pelton's videos.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
No, honestly though, if I
Degen
really had no
DeFi.
idea, well, I like in terms of, because
150K into Degen only.
they're not all degen. You have some non.
Yes.
You have some non.
I have
There's like
I have
one
a
or two,
third-
I think,
I
at
have
the
a
very bottom
third-
that are not Degen.
I have a third in stocks, third in real estate, third in crypto.
If you're looking at, like, assuming Antonio's talking like crypto only, right? He's a project, so assuming that's crypto only.
I was gonna say you get a number of mobile homes for 150K.
That's
There
also
you
true.
go.
But assuming like crypto projects, honestly, I'd watch James Pelton's videos, and that's not even a plug, and you don't have to pay me for that.
Hey, thanks,
Nice.
man. I'll shoot something here. I'll pay for your breakfast.
I'll watch James
Oh,
Pelton's
perfect,
videos.
in the future.
No,
I would
already
go
did.
1/3 Ethereum,
James
1/3
and I tried to
Bitcoin,
go for
1/3 MVIS. That's what I would do.
What would you do?
1/3 Bitcoin, 1/3 Ethereum, 1/3 MVIS. I would be real safe with it. That's what I would do.
Okay. What about you, Andy?
I would buy at least a couple of BTC. I would separate things like this when it comes to portfolios. I go with always some Bitcoin, and then just below that, what are one or two safer things? So maybe just Ethereum, and then I look at what is something that is in the top 25, maybe, to put another allocation, another fourth or fifth or sixth of the portfolio into that. Then what are the 25 to 100 projects, and then with a smaller percentage, 100 to 200 projects. What's it, like 3 or 4 in that area that are much higher growth potential, and then with like 10% or 20% of what's left into some ultra down there, like position 500, position 1,000, position 3,000 projects that you think might get some runway. Because, like, again, we talk about Neoxa or talk about Caspa, which is another one that popped off recently. These are ones that were ranked in the thousands, and now they're in the hundreds, and they've done many, many hundreds or thousands of X.
Yeah.
So I just like to do a nice split across it. Of course, that requires the research into each little segment to find your couple 3 to 4 for each of those segments, but it's a really nice way to split it up. And you can also do a duality where like half the projects you do are passive focus and half are just appreciation focused.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's really hard because when I sold my business in 2020, so I had a whole bunch of money. And so, like, when you see what I do in crypto, that's not like, oh, I only had 150,000. Here's what I would do with it. I probably would start something safer. So I'd probably start in real estate, maybe, is what I would do, just to get some cash flow generating, and then you can use your cash flow. If I was going to look at crypto, I really like the passive income project like yield nodes, something that has a revenue and they just give you the revenue that they're generating. So you could get super low returns, but the chance of you losing your capital is not that good. I don't like a lot of the node projects. You had to lose all your capital up front and then hope you made it back. I'm not a big fan of that right now. I would prefer, so like yield nodes, Project 79, Gold Bridge, Novatech. Those are all ones where you don't lose your initial. Novatech, it's debatable. People say they have trouble withdrawing their initial, which I need to look into that.
Yeah.
But So like yield nodes, your initials locked for 6 months, but then you can take it out. Gold Bridge, it's not locked at all. You can take it out month to month. Project 79, you can take it out month to month. So I would probably start in those. Maybe put a little in the speculate. Like I consider Horde and Drip super high return, but they're more speculative. And I know that makes people angry when I talk about Drip that way. But
James, I would also say maybe I would be curious if it's fair to ask if you didn't sell your company, if you didn't have a 2/3 of your money in real estate and the traditional stock market, you're starting from zero, trying to drop a couple $100, a couple $1,000 per month, and just getting your crypto portfolio started, it might look very different than what your current one does. Would that be fair?
I think so. It's hard for me to put myself to think about what would I do in this, but I do think like yield nodes is something that if I had very little, just to get some cash flow, because you want to get some cash flow in my mind. Yep. You want to get some cash flow going because then you can, quit your job is one goal that I would have, and then have extra money to invest would be a second goal. And you need income for both of those things. And so then I would start once I got a cash flow going, then I would start looking for, then I would put into like Bitcoin and Flux and some of those other things.
And one other point, just to drive this home, if you are someone who's in those shoes of like, I'm just getting started, I think probably all of us, but at least me and James, who we talked about before, would agree that instead of focusing on what's the project do I need to be in yield nodes? Do I need to be in Horde? Do I need to be in Bitcoin or Flux? Or do I need to be in these things with my $500 to $1,000 per month? The focus shouldn't be that. It should be, what can I do? What side hustles can I do? How can I earn more money per month? Yeah. And then I can throw it more places. And then your money does better things when you have more coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about this morning how the average car payment in America is up to like $700 a month.
Bad.
And so if you're talking about what would I do with $500 or something like that, well, the first thing is I would not buy a car that cost me $750 a month. I would get a used car that cost me $0 a month, or maybe like $50 a month or something like that. And then you have $700 a month that you can use to put into something to, assets that hopefully get you yield going forward. So, and honestly, that's something I'm impressed with Colin. I think as you get older, you start to realize like cars and vacation, some of these things are not like all they're cracked up to be, like driving around the fanciest car.
$700 a month too is like $100,000 loan.
Yeah, that'd be a huge loan. And so I think when you're young, there's a more temptation to do that. So he's young and he's figured it out early.
Well, I won't say like I would not like to drive, but you have to be able to delay that, That's the hardest part, is be able to delay that and say,
delaying satisfaction is one of the toughest things and smartest things you can do.
Yep, it is. It's not easy. It's really hard, especially like, my age, we're in the early 20s where everyone's like doing those things, you know, and you're like, well, my friend just got this, or like whatever.
And everyone around you is like, why aren't you doing these things with us?
Yeah.
It's like, because I want to have a wealthy life later.
Hello to Shanghai, China from
Hello.
Zeshan.
Hello, Shanghai.
Zeshan.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. That's awesome.
We're doing sweatily. We're sweaty.
Very sweaty.
It's hot.
It's like 90 degrees in here.
It's real hot.
Can we talk about this real quick? But I'm bullish on DAG. Andy's not so sure. Why are you not so sure about DAG?
We talked about this on the trip.
We did.
So first off, anything that I say about DAG that's maybe can be viewed as negative, take it with a grain of salt, because I actually have been buying DAG. I'm probably going to buy a full node to have it in a portfolio, but a lot of that is purely speculative. A what if it actually does some of the things that they promise. The reasons I don't like it is because it is so speculative. Like they have such big like dreams out there, infinitely scalable. Anytime people promise stuff like that, I'm like, that's a red flag.
Hypergraph technology.
They have a $5,500 people counter, which is like $20 worth of infrared technology.
It's not a counter, it's a miner.
Yeah, miner. It's just stuff like that. Like they're kind of selling this hope to people that they can like put this in public places and make all this DAG, but in reality, most people won't be able to do that. But also, honestly, I've said this on Twitter, so many of the DAG community are just so like crazy about it in all my replies and comments and whatever. It's kind of a turnoff. It's like they believe it's the only thing that's ever going to work going forward. If I don't invest in it, I'm stupid. I'm like, watch me still be successful and not invest in it. I just want to like do it, not invest, spite them, and still make it.
So you didn't like my video where I said if this fails, I'm quitting crypto?
I mean, I think it's a very good title, silly assumption.
Okay.
But I am full transparency. Again, I'm buying some, but I'm also going to buy the other hypergraph. I'm going to be buying some quant
H-bar
and some H-bar, probably in equal amounts. So I'm
Yeah.
making multiple bets across that.
Yeah, there's definitely the hypergraph technology is definitely better. So, but will Constellation be the hypergraph that does well, or will it be one of many? Or it's hard to tell what the future is going to bring for sure.
I think it's better for some things. I don't think I've seen over the past 5 years, I've seen this whole how many transactions per second. You got to beat Bitcoin. That only does 7 or 12 or whatever. We need to have this one has tens of thousands, and they all just keep failing one after another. I think things like that are an unimportant distraction unless there's specific applications that make sense for it. In big data, transactions per second make a lot of sense. But for financial markets, if you can build a layer on top of that takes care of that, you don't need the layer one to be all that fast. There's so many variables. And there's so many edge cases for all this. It's just tough to say this one thing makes this better than all the others. It's the best crypto ever, Right.
Yeah. The one thing I like about Constellation is I've seen a lot of things that I've seen in crypto. I'm like, this isn't really necessary. It's not needed it doesn't make the world better in any way. And Constellation, the way they're using the hypergraph to me can change the way businesses work and in a better way, the way we use data. And
it's a huge mistake, in my opinion, to think that everything in life currently needs to be on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Most stuff does not.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Colin
Colin wanted to address this one. Used car for $50 a month doesn't exist.
Well, I just wanted to address it because obviously,
Sure it
Dave,
does.
you were maybe exaggerating in the sense of $50 a month, but he was basically saying,
That's still a $7,000 loan for 3 years. That's not impossible.
Well, but it's really more about don't choose the $700 a month car when you can get one for 100,
also
200, 300.
Thinking like this is finding an objection with the example we give is missing the entire point. The point is, don't do a $700 or $1,000 a month car loan if you're only making $4,000 per month. Instead, buy a used car in cash for $2,000 or $4,000 and be done with it. There's every conceivable alternative, and you're just not exploring those.
Yeah. I mean, my first car out of college, or when I turned 16, which was 8 years ago.
Oh
my goodness gracious.
Was $5,000. And it lasted for 4 years. So I was literally basically a little over $1,250 a year.
Yeah. My first car was $450 and it ran for 5 years.
$450.
$450. Bought a used.
Back then?
I bought a Yugo was my first car, and it was $500.
Yeah, a 95 Ford Taurus.
And I get the market's different, but it's really just, again, it's the principle of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's see. You missed the vapor finance question.
Toss it back, Peter.
There's a lot.
Toss it back,
questions
Peter.
we missed.
Yeah, we missed a lot of questions. There's a
If
whole
you're
bunch
going to get
coming.
frustrated with us missing a question, you haven't looked at how many questions.
What do you think about Sphere? What do you guys think about Sphere?
Okay,
Can I
let's
get
bring
a
that one
quick
up.
ask about Sphere? Because I don't have a ton in there. I have $4,000 in there, but I've watched it go away. Everybody seems so confident with it, and I just keep watching it get smaller.
Sphere was a very end of the bull market darling. I think Sphere could perform very well in the future again. I think the guy behind Sphere is obviously a very smart individual, but as we were talking,
Oh, looks like your camera was unplugged.
My camera might have overheated.
we might be still. I think
you can still hear us.
Hello.
Anyways, we were talking about offline. We were talking about this, but the idea, lots of people give so much credit to projects just based on how smart the person is behind the project. It'll probably turn back on after he and being incredibly smart doesn't equate to
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is the James way of doing it.
It's,
Wait, hold on.
camera.
You muted something, I think.
There we go.
Anyways, I don't want to talk. I can just say short version is I think it could do well again.
What's up, everybody?
But who knows? Cool idea for a
Oh.
project, and
yes,
and a good team behind it does not equate to a guaranteed success.
Yeah, I hated rebase tokens. They were to me, they were the worst idea that we've had in crypto. And so when they were a rebase token, I was not at all interested. When they switched off rebase, then that's when I bought in. And I do believe in kind of the long-term future. I think building some cool stuff. But it's not one of my top investments, I would say. So I don't know if that's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just turned the webcam
Or the
on.
James Pelton.
This is how I normally do my lives.
feels at
It's
home.
just
He feels
the
at home.
webcam. Yeah, this
Yeah.
feels a lot better. Now I can look at the screen.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I can just.
Yeah, here. Yeah, if you want to mic it
I
up.
will give you mic powers.
Best live stream camera view ever. In all seriousness, glad to see you four together.
What's up, Ben?
Good to see you, Fi.
Are you commenting on the one that just went away, or this
Yeah,
new,
This new one, right?
This one is a little closer.
Welcome to the intimate hour with the four of us.
Do we need an AV director?
Yeah,
It's hot.
It's hot. It's very
I think
hot.
the camera
here.
overheated. We're all sweaty. Look how red faced we are.
Is that
Oh, yeah.
audio video?
Audio video. Yes, that's what AV stands for.
Cool, cool.
Hey, here's a good question.
I built a computer, by the way.
Yeah, we built a computer today. I shorted it with my sweat. But here's a good question.
Maybe.
What would you guys say? What would you do? What would be your priorities? Again, if you were kind of starting from scratch, you didn't have your investments. Would it be, take care of living expenses, then pay off high debt, then start investing? What would you guys kind of think of as priorities?
I think if you have high debt, like credit card debt, that should be the first thing you attack if you can. I think you should probably get like a small emergency fund, like $1,000 to $2,000, just in case something happens that you don't go into further debt. But credit card debt is so toxic in your finances.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, like the biggest thing you can do for your finances is make more money. I know it sounds like it's easier said than done, but like increasing your income is going to help you tremendously.
Yeah.
Right. That's like, you can build wealth and pay off your taxes with, or pay off your taxes, pay off your bills and credit card debts and all that stuff with, the average income. But if you make more money, I know it's easier said than done, but if you make more money, that really helps it. If you have a bigger shovel, you can move a lot more snow.
Yeah.
If you're from
to a certain point,
parables, I like that.
you have a 10-foot wide shovel. Good luck lifting that thing.
well, then that point you have a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Or
you need to build a bulldozer of cash flow.
Actually,
Yes.
bulldozers. I'm gonna go. I have too many vehicles right now. I have an RV and I have 3 different cargo trailers and I have a truck and I bought this stupid little Fiat thing
And a
so I'm gonna-
forklift.
and
Two forklifts.
2 forklifts actually. One's from the 50s
where's the other one?
out front.
Oh,
And so I'm going to sell off like everything but the stupid little Fiat, and then I'm going to drive that for a year, and I'm going to use that to get rid of that annoying debt so that I can spend my income on more income, make my money, make money.
You smart.
Yep.
Mm.
Nope. I think that's all good. I think make more money, which
That's
is
what you should do. Is make more money.
I know. Well, and
Yeah.
it's funny.
Quit being a dummy. Just make
No,
more
here,
money.
I want to make
James
this. I want to
Pelton.
make
That's a good
this. I want to make this because I think people think making more money is like impossible to do.
Good call.
But I see when I look at the internet, especially, I see like nothing but an infinite number of ways to make money, and without even needing capital. Like starting a YouTube channel, start creating I started my YouTube channel in December of last year, and like it's something you can do. Start writing on Medium. You can start. I mean, there's just so many things that you
Ooh, I
can do.
write on Medium.
You write on
I'm
Medium?
not going to tell anybody what it is. But I do.
There,
It's
is it
Harry
micro-
Harry Potter fan
Probably
fiction.
erotic,
Probably-
fan fiction.
Erotic Harry Potter fan fiction.
probably LiDAR.
I do have
But
an
there's
article
so
on LiDAR.
many ways.
And
And I,
nook now.
you
I'm
guys-
in a nook.
you guys are
There we go.
interrupting my very good point.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
But I think people think
And
it's a lot more
anyways-
difficult. Just get started making some more money. Like find something, even if it's just a little bit. I think cutting expenses is a really if you don't get a $700 a month car and get a $200 a month car, that's $500 a month.
But of those two things, focus on making more money because you only cut so much before you can't cut anymore, and you can earn an infinite amount. But one quick point about what you're saying, I think what you're kind of getting at is this big lie that everybody buys into that, oh, I got to do this stuff now, otherwise I'm going to miss out. I'm going to you have FOMO. You're gonna miss this opportunity. You're in this bear market crypto investing opportunity. There's gonna be another bear market. There's gonna be more opportunity. Opportunity is endless in this internet age. So don't get into this trap of if I don't do it now, I'll never catch up.
Yep.
You can always catch up again. It's important to do fundamental things first. Take care of all the normal crap that you got to get rid of, and then start attacking those other things.
And on top of that, with the raise your income, looking for new jobs, right? Like in your same industry, you might be very good at what you're doing, and you've been there for who knows how long. And the market is offering a lot of people with a lot of jobs out there, and looking for a new job. And what you're already doing, just ask around for companies, shop around for jobs.
Well, and so I taught myself. Just got books from the library. Taught myself to program. So that's something that's available in not everyone's going to want to do that, but it's just an example of teach yourself a skill and then start trying to make money from it. And then we got another. There's $200 a month cars. We got another comment about that.
It's not about it's about.
Of course, there's
at the end of the
$200.
day,
It's definitely
cars.
$200.
It's about
a
the
month
loan.
cars.
It's a loan.
If you
price.
if you can't find used cars that equate to $200 per month, then you're not very good at looking for
That's
things.
still $15,000 of car.
It also stems from the $200 a month cars, and people don't want to drive that because then they think that people are going to think they look goofy in a $200 a month. You have to get over that fact of like,
I love
I
my
don't really
stupid
care what people
Fiat.
think about it. I would love it. I'll drive a Fiat. I might sell my car and buy a Fiat.
It's adorable.
I'm a multi-millionaire who drives a 150,000 mile 20-year-old Prius or 13-year-old Prius that's completely paid off, and keep driving it and driving it. It's just reliable. It's like, why would I take off a loan when I could be putting that money to investing?
Yeah.
Other people who don't have as much net worth and who don't make nearly as much, they buy these crazy cars that I mean, everyone has different personal choices, and you shouldn't do just what I do because I'm saying it's the right way. But I'm saying people make these choices and they don't give them any thought. They just do what everybody else is doing.
I mean, I will say my wife's car is a joy to drive.
Well, and
it's a good ride.
Yeah. So, and I bought a Tesla Model S, but I waited until like I had the funds there to do that.
And I will buy myself a cool, fast, fun car, but I just haven't quite hit the levels of the milestones I want to hit yet.
Yeah.
Matthias went to e-bikes down there in the bottom.
E-bikes.
Yeah.
There you
Car
go.
to e-bike.
There you go. Two things I wanted to touch on here that I saw too. First off, Jack's Passive Income
Hey,
is
what's up?
another
What's up?
love to
Shout
have.
out to
Yeah,
Jack.
come
US?
and we'll get together. The US is different than Europe though. Like being in the US does not necessarily mean that you're close to anyone or that it's easy to get to. But yeah, let us know where you're going and we'd love to connect with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, James, you had to come about 2,500 miles just
Yeah.
to get here.
Yep, I'm in Nebraska. We're in Florida right now. That's
Why we're sweating.
For
sweating.
further reference, I live in a state in the U.S. called Texas. I live in Austin, and you can drive from Austin, which is kind of towards the middle of the state, and you can drive for 8 hours towards the border of the state and still be in Texas.
Yep, it's true. Mario wants to know, many times DeFi feels like moving money from my left pocket to my right pocket. High APR, but investment value decreases. Have you experienced this?
Hey, I've experienced that.
Strong.
All of them. Strong, Tavern.
Yeah,
Sphere,
and that's
100
why
days.
I've moved more to projects that don't lose your initial, is
Yep.
because even if I make a way lower return, like Yield Nodes was 6% last month, which is not the 30% that you
Only
get
6%
In a
per
month.
month.
Yeah, exactly.
Only.
And we've
72
gotten
a year.
kind of greedy. I mean, because some of like the rebase projects were getting 200,000% APY or
200,000.
Some of them are worse. Some
Yeah.
were 1,000,000%.
They would rebase every 15 minutes.
I think that
and you would
100 days one
compound
was 100,000%,
Yeah.
or is.
And so I would rather not lose my initial, get a 6% or 3% a month, and then be able to take that out. Here's the one I really wanted to get to. Do you think taking a large loan from your 401k, that's a little bit different, to fund Yield Nodes is too risky? Leave it in to 100% and pay the balance back? What do you guys think?
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, well, a large loan, how big of a
He
percentage
said
of your
50.
50K.
no, not the dollar amount, because if he has
the-
10 million in there, then 50K is nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
If he has
Oh.
51K
But he
in
says
there,
it's
then that's really
large.
scary.
It says a large loan.
He's saying large loan.
Yeah.
50K is the large one.
Yeah.
But is it
If I was
from-
going to do that, I would never do large percentage.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, think in more in a percentage than in a dollar amount, because like for James, 50K is not a large percentage of your investments.
Yeah. Also, generally speaking, and there is plenty of exceptions to this, but I view things like this. If you are looking to use leverage because you want to jump into stuff like this, you are pulling the wrong lever of leverage. You should be focused on how can I just earn more money or sell something or do whatever. You're scrambling to try to find money that's available to you immediately and now, an easier route, and that might not work out for you long term.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
It
agree
can
with
if you
that.
get real lucky
It
once.
can, yeah.
I would. We
Everything
don't.
can work
It's
out.
not a throw. It's not a cliche to say don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. So I would ask yourself the question: if that 50K was just gone tomorrow, how would that affect your life?
Yep.
And if the answer is, oh, it wouldn't affect it that much, it wouldn't really be that. It'd be a bummer,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Then I'd say, yeah, go for it. But if the answer is, oh, well, then I would not have retirement, and I'd have to. I don't know. Can't think of the worst case scenario, but then I would not do it. So
And really ponder that question, because everyone in crypto says only invest, with most of the high risk of, especially what you are actually okay watching go to zero or losing. And everybody repeats that, parrots that information. But I think only a very small percentage actually visualize what it'd be like to lose $100,000 loan or something like that, and then have to pay back
And you're
that.
still paying back the loan.
And they have to pay back that every month. Otherwise, you have to bankrupt yourself. Like, you actually have to think these things and really live them, and then decide, am I actually okay losing that money?
Yeah.
And
Most
something,
people don't do that.
and something to think about, like how I can put into perspective for me is like whenever we were talking about this yesterday, like the Luna stuff went down, the crash, right? And dollar amount, I put $1,000 in there thinking like I'm gonna catch a little rebound, some play money, because percentage wise, $1,000 in my portfolio was is less than 1%. So it's like a very, very small amount, less than 0.5%. And so for me, it's like dollar amount for a lot of people, maybe $1,000 is a lot of money, but percentage wise, it's not. And like that money is worth like 83 cents.
Yeah.
So like, and yeah, obviously we don't go into investments to lose money, but
You want to reiterate that your $1,000 is now worth 80 cents.
yeah, it's overnight.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
overnight
I
thing.
watched it happen.
And you have to be able to like, that is a risk that you take. And can you like live with that if that happens? So in your case, I'm asking you, like Peter, like, can you live with that if that were to happen?
God, it dropped down and it plateaued right at that dollar. Thought it was going to be fine.
Yeah.
I was like $1 or $2, that's double my money.
Yeah, that was a painful one.
I don't want to sidetrack us, but I think there was a super chat a while back or something. Did we miss the super chat, or did you ask it?
Oh no, I did.
I made a mental note.
Yeah,
it was a while
let's bring
back.
it up.
Whoa, look at all those
I
comments.
think he
Wow.
wants us to come onto his
Yeah, he wants
crypto
you to go on
pride.
his-
Sorry, Crypto Pride. Oh, we know crypto. Yeah, we talked to Crypto
Shoot
Pride.
me a DM on Twitter,
Oh yes, do the
and
same.
I will let you know. We'll schedule something, and I'll get in touch with Andy, because that's how everyone gets in touch with Andy, is DMing me.
don't.
You can email James to get in touch with me also.
Yeah.
Any projects
James
to
is
reach
now my
out to
social media
James to
manager.
get to me, stop doing that.
That's
Stop it.
everyone. That's like half my DMs is, hey, would your friend Andy do a video? No, he won't.
You should start taking a finder fee. Or you should just say yes, send me the money, and I'll make sure he
Yeah,
does
there
it,
you go.
and then just keep the money.
James is my social media manager.
Yep, there you go. Okay, well, hey, we should probably get going here, because
Yeah, my mouth is getting dry.
Should we do like one last question here?
Yep.
Sure. Is there a good general one or one that's
Uh,
not a
Peter said
specific
50K is
project?
the limit legally.
Who's got a
Okay.
dog? James, do you have a dog?
I do not have a dog.
Colin?
I don't have.
Nothing. You live alone, Colin. No sentient beings in your house other than you?
I have a lot of roommates.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
I'm married and I
Any
live with
ladies out
roommates.
there? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, here. So just reiterating, when you talk about debt, would it be a bad idea to get a personal loan to buy more S19 miners than what you get for cash? If you're
Well,
not
no,
able
if
to
you can
pay the loan
handle
off-
it, it depends on what your financial situation is.
Yeah.
Like if you make 100K a year, I'm looking at the camera again, it's totally fine. Then yeah, get a personal loan, get another stream going, as long as you're fine waiting, because you might have to wait a while. You might have to wait years before you really start to cash in on it.
all of my best crypto investments have been me buying things and then waiting years before they pay off. And when you take out leverage, take out high risk, take out high interest rate loan to buy crypto things, then when it starts to dip like crazy, you feel this certain pressure to then have to make your money back and pay that back. And that's not a place where you want to be.
Well, and with miners specifically, you have the friction of electrical cost and the friction of paying a loan each month. So it would actually probably be better just to buy Bitcoin then.
So you should really only consider stuff like that if it's truly like a drop in the hat, no big deal. I can pay this debt even if these miners all break and go to zero and I have to just owe this money and I can't get any money back. Then sure, consider it. But if you aren't comfortable with any of those,
don't do a Hail Mary, get a loan, buy miners.
Right.
Too many opportunities in crypto to like go all in on something like that.
Yeah, and so debt can be a tool if it definitely can be a tool if you're in the financial position for it to be a tool.
Yeah.
So if I can go buy 50 miners if I take out some loans, but then if it all fails, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that was a bad endeavor. I'll just pay off the 200K or whatever. Then that's probably okay. But you don't put yourself in a position. You just always, what I always do when I make a decision is best case scenario, worst case scenario, and probable scenario. And then
like
if the worst case is too bad, like it would mess up your life, then don't do it. And
you hear about like that Dogecoin billionaire guy, but there's just the one guy who like took a crazy chance and he happened to time it just perfectly.
You did not.
You won't do that.
And there's hundreds and thousands of people that are Dogecoin not
bag holders.
Bag
But
well,
like
they paid that guy.
But what James was saying, debt as a tool is a very popular thing to say. Oh, debt's a tool. Wealthy people use debt as a tool, so I should do the same. But unless you're wealthy yourself and you can handle it, you probably shouldn't be doing those things, because wealthy people who are multimillionaires or tens of millionaires, they can do those things, and if it all turns to just garbage, they can survive that very easily. For a lot of people who do that and see that and model and then try to mimic it, they cannot survive those things without like dramatic, horrible things happening to their finances.
Yeah, you need a lot of regular income to like be combating all of the stuff you have to pay every month.
So what does this boil all down to? Find ways to increase.
It's so trite to say, but increasing your income is like it's the one lever in life that if you can do that, just focus on it. Drive for Lyft and Uber, sell, flip stuff on eBay, learn how to code, start a YouTube channel. I don't know, take your pick, literally anything, and just start increasing the amount of money you make per month. That's going to be the biggest exponential grower of your financial life compared to everything else. Unless you get extraordinarily lucky on the right little thing with the right tiny amount of money, which is like a near impossible situation. Yeah.
Right. Situation. And Ian says, serious thank you to you for my passive income now generates 40,000 pounds.
That's awesome.
Welcome to America. But which feeds my annual tax-free pension allowance in the UK. Thank you. It's empowering. So that's awesome,
That's
Ian.
cool.
Good job.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And that's the type of story. Maybe we should have you on my channel and just talk about kind of your journey in that, because that is what I want for my audience. So very cool. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and hop off. It's hot. I got to go catch a plane.
This is fun, though. Once in a while, we should all fly to the same place, wherever the place,
Lincoln,
maybe.
Nebraska's right in the middle.
I've never been there.
Let's have an air conditioned space.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do it in Nebraska in the winter.
Or like on a beach.
Yeah, let's not go overboard. Nebraska in the winter might be pushing it.
Yeah, you're right.
One end of the spectrum, yeah.
You're right. So awesome. Thank you guys all for hopping into this live stream. Keep your eyes out for the video about our little contest that we did.
Open up a new window right now. Go to YouTube and type in Space Design Warehouse. Go subscribe so that you'll see our upcoming. We did a competition with these 3.
Yes.
It's pretty fun.
One of us was the winner.
Yes. And one of us was the loser. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but
We're
pretty fun.
all winners here today.
We're all winners. So
In
yeah,
my
awesome.
eyes.
So subscribe to James Pelton, subscribe to Decade Investors, subscribe to your friend Andy and Space Design Warehouse. And we'll catch you all later. Thank you guys.
See ya.